Doing. Let me cut on peace, love, light, and healing, family. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. It's y'all with a night snack on this late Monday. How y'all feeling? Or moon day, should I say? Y'all climb on in, climb on in. Once y'all get in, type where y'all coming in from so I can know where y'all coming in from. Whether you coming in from Facebook, type in Facebook. If you coming in from my Facebook business page, type in Facebook business. And if you coming in from my YouTube, type in YouTube. And, we got some things to talk about, all right? And then, of course, I fixed that thing, so we're going to open up the lines later and we're going to talk. Blessings, gods and earths. How y'all doing? I see y'all been going crazy with the pic I posted earlier. Yeah, you see that? I done toned up. I done lost that weight, and that's what I want to talk about today, how to actually do that and how I did it. It's very, very easy. You can do it too. They said it sounds a little choppy. If it sounds choppy, y'all let me know. Somebody said it sounds choppy. It sounds pretty good to me. How it sound to you, Nabi? Sound amazing to you? Okay. Blessings. So we got Facebook, we got YouTube. Do we got any Facebook business? Anybody that's from my Facebook business page, the Dr. Yahki Health and Wellness Detoxification Institute. Anybody live on there? Let me know. If somebody live on the detox page, let me know that as well, and we can get it started. Everybody said that it sounds good and it sounds amazing. All right, I'm waiting on one more person. Yeah, who's fat? Not me. I ain't no fat boy. We finna get it in today, so make sure you got your pens. Make sure that you got your pads. We in. So for those that don't know, before I even get this started, I want to say this, and I always want to say this. If it's not a blue verified check page with my name on it, and y'all haven't seen me go live through it, that is not me. There's over 84 different pages on each individual platforms pretending to be me, family. I will never, ever, ever ask you for money online. I will always conduct business through www.yahkiawakened.com, YAHKIAWAKENED.com. I do not respond to inboxes. So if it's somebody responding to an inbox, that is not me. I usually don't even respond to comments because of this issue. So if it's somebody responding to a comment, it's not me. I don't have a Telegram. I'm on TikTok, but I never respond. I never message nobody on TikTok, none of that. If you are having a full-blown conversation with somebody that's claiming a Yahki, I can promise you and bet you my bottom dollar it ain't me. I'm too busy to even be doing all of that. So, it's people out here pretending to be me that's not verified, using my pictures, using my videos for gains, and they getting y'all for it. So I want y'all to have spiritual discernment, use spiritual discernment, and automatically, even this page I'm going through live right now, and I'm trying to get it verified, my Yahki detoxification one that I'm going live through right now. I'm trying to get it verified. But look, until that's get verified, even take that as if assume it's not me. Just assume it's not me if it's not verified, y'all. I only conduct business through my website. I will never, ever, ever ask you for money unless it's through my website. All right, now it's a different story if you come into my clinic. You know what I'm saying? If you come into the clinic, that's a different story, and we might exchange money that way, that we face to face, and y'all are here with my medical assistants, y'all are here with the nurses, y'all actually in the building. But other than that, if it's online, it's not me, okay? I just wanted to say that. All right, so what I wanted to talk about today is I wanted to talk about our addiction. I wanted to talk to our addiction to actually foods and our addictions to processed foods and why we are addicted to them and how to break that addiction. If you look at processed foods is probably actually the number one cause of your body, retaining ailments or going through these detoxification symptoms that you have been programmed to call disease. And I'm telling you, I've been vegan going on 16 years, y'all. And I hate using the word vegan, but I'm going to use the word vegan now because that's something for you to identify with. Everybody keep talking about the gorilla mix. Yes, these are the gorilla mixes. They are done, family. They are done. So this is the gorilla mix. It is in fact done. They'll be on a website They'll be on the website on Friday. I just had to make sure that everything was copacetic and everything worked real good. I lost a lot of weight off of the Gorilla Mix. If you can see right here, I have the superfood. I take the superfood every day. It has so many different minerals, amino acids, and everything in it. This right here is the energy. I use this for my energy for when I go on my walks or I go on my runs. And this right here is my favorite. This is the Muscle Up. This Muscle Up is amazing, y'all. And I do this 30 minutes before I go to the actual gym. I have an in-home gym. I try to do the gym, where you go and you be gymming with everybody, but everybody wanted to have a consultation. I'm like, I'm trying to work out. Y'all trying to have consultation. So I went ahead and spent me 25 grand and built me an in-house gym with a sauna and everything else. But I do use these every day. Y'all see the weight loss I got from them, but I don't want to give this all the glory, though. I don't want to give this all the glory at all because I actually worked out as well. I worked out. I ate clean. I cut out all processed foods, y'all. When I say all processed foods, I literally mean I cut out all processed foods. And I ate raw. I only cooked I'm going to say this, out of the diet that we eat currently now, 92% of that diet is raw. And the only reason why I'm not calling the other 8% raw is because we are putting the stuff in the oven, but we never bake anything past 225 Fahrenheit, and we never steam anything past 125 Fahrenheit. So that's my diet. And it consists of fruits. It consists of berries. It consists of melons. It consists of vegetables. It consists of nuts. Well, I'm going to say some nuts, and it consists of some seeds. The only nuts that I have been eating is Brazilian nuts. I eat 5 of those a week. And the other nut is walnuts. I eat a bunch of those. But, man, when it comes to seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, especially pumpkin seeds, I'll probably eat a half a bag of pumpkin seeds a day, y'all. And when I say that the zinc and the copper and the pumpkin seeds is working, I mean, morning wood is strong as ever, y'all, just off the pumpkin seeds alone. So fellas, if you having circulatory issues, if you can't get it up, if you need strength down there, and you missing zinc and you missing selenium, you missing copper, you missing things that can boost your testosterone, pumpkin seeds, organic pumpkin seeds, toss them deals around in some sea salt. And what I mean by sea salt is Celtic salt that is actually hand-picked from the sea. Don't get it when it's processed, because this transmission today is talking about processed food, how addictive it is, and how to get off of it. So if y'all got what I'm saying so far, type in some 9s and we're going to get this going. And make sure y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads, because we're going to pull out the anatomy. We going through this stuff. Pine nuts are cool, but I just don't eat pine nuts, Urban Ace. I just don't eat them. All right. So if y'all ready, type in some 9s and let's get it started. So first I want to prove, and first I want to show that processed foods is a bowel movement. I did a video on this probably about 5 years ago. It blew everybody's mind. It probably did about 600,000 views. And then it ended up getting taken down by social media because of my language and how I used to express myself. I used to be very radical. I used to cuss entirely too much. And from their perspective, I sounded very, very racist because I'm pro-black. I'm pro my people, still pro my people, will always be pro my people, but they was missing the message. I'm not against anybody. I'm not against any ethnicity of people. I'm not against any race. I just love my people, and that's my sole purpose, is to come here to uplift y'all and to heal y'all. And if anybody outside of that want to come and get this healing and want to come and learn how to heal themselves, want to come and learn how to eat the right way according to, the natural law of the universe, I'm all game for that, so it's no racism here, no hatred here, but I was very, very passionate in more of a violent way because I was a baby with a Uzi then, so it came off so wrong. So a lot of the videos y'all be looking for, I didn't take them down. YouTube took him down. So hopefully with wisdom, with educating myself better, with widening my vocabulary and actually calming down and calming that inner storm within me, because I was a very angry person. I mean, look at me. Look how I was. I was 190, 190. My range was between 100 and 82 to 190, not be. And mind you, I'm vegan at this point. And this lets you know, mind you, I'm vegan while doing this. 180, 190, I'm 5'6", y'all, for real. When my shoes off, I'm 5'5.5". So I'm 180 190. Y'all have to remember though, when I suffered that heart attack at the age of 21, I was 230. You know, I even got up to 260. So I looked like a big butterball. So after I went on that 4-month juicing, after I had that incident I had and I got rid of that scar tissue of my heart, my liver started functioning properly. My kidneys, because my kidneys was down there in a failing state. I got my kidneys back. The scar tissue on my heart left. I healed myself of the toenail fungus that I had. I also had vertigo, where I had different parts of my body that was missing melanin and missing pigmentation. You know, after I did that 120-day, 4-month just fruit juice fast, I slimmed down a whole lot, y'all. I got down to like 143. And then from 143, I maintained 153 for a long time. And then I got out of my fruitarianism diet. That's when, and I'm just keeping it real, and I'm not being in my ego, but the fruitarianism way came to the youngsters in this generation by me, no doubt. It was Yahki Awaken who brought that. The whole fruitarianism movement, the H302 movement. You know, I'm not saying I was the creator of these things, but who brought it to this generation was definitely me. So I was on a fruitarian diet for a long time, but then I started traveling a lot and doing a lot of lectures. And when we started traveling and doing a lot of these lectures, I started eating out, and that's where I went wrong at. So I started eating out. I started eating at most of these restaurants, vegan restaurants. You know, man, I be telling them how much we was eating. We was eating good too, and eating all this processed foods. I started gaining weight, y'all. I started gaining a bunch of weight. You know what I'm saying? Eating these processed foods, eating the processed vegan hamburgers, just eating things that I knew intuitively that I wasn't supposed to be eating before convenience. You know, and just being on the road and using that as an excuse to exercise my lustful demons. Let's be real, because that's what it was. I was just eating, man, eating, not eating the right things, eating foods cooked in seed oils. And we know how bad seed oils is when you cook them. We know that seed oils are very, very bad when you put them to heat and they become carcinogens. We know that they become literally cancer-causing agents. So we don't know what type of oil that these people is cooking this vegan food in. Let alone what they cooking the non-vegan food, the carnivore meats and stuff like that in. You know, so and most of the time they cooking it in canola oil. Canola oil is known to mess up your DNA. Canola oil is known to block up arteries. Canola oil is known to literally disrupt the hormone system and tear up the bowel walls. And most of these restaurants are cooking your vegan foods in that canola oil. And that's the reason why I don't say I'm vegan, because it comes with a very nasty name, because most of your vegan food is more unhealthy than eating meat and eating dairy products. And this is just facts. You know, and I'm not vouching for the carnivore, movement. I'm not vouching for the dairy product movement. I'm against all of that. But I'm just saying, imagine having an egg that come from a chicken. At least that's biological, even though it builds up lactic acid, even though it builds up uric acid, even though the complex proteins in there and the nitrogen that's in there is bad for the body because it's too much and we really can't process it to break it down. Yes, you can build good muscle mass and lean muscle mass off of it, but in the long run, you're going to come to Yahki Awaken Clinic because it messes with your kidneys. But think about you having a biological egg, or you claim to be vegan, and then you go get a completely 100% synthetic egg to taste like the biological egg. You don't think that's going to have a worse effect on your body than just eating the grass-fed egg that came from the chicken? Both of them are bad. Both of them will kill you. Both of them will mess with your metabolic state. Both of them are not alkaline whatsoever. Or let me not say alkaline forming whatsoever. But I'm talking about, when we talking about the worst movement, the worst movement is that where we are taking away living things and then we are replacing these living things because we don't want to eat them no more, because we had the mindset to change, because we want to do better. Then we change them and we go to a worse thing because it's not even real at all, though. Look, when I say not real at all, it's 100% synthetically made in a laboratory. Just think about Beyond Meat. Get the concept of Beyond Meat. Get the concept of that. Get the concept of Impossible Meat. Get the concept of those just egged. And Just Egg taste amazing, don't they not be? I'm not finna sit up here and lie to y'all. I tasted them several times. Taste amazing. But look, when I say I gained like 10 pounds off of them deals, they will make you fat, and it will raise your cholesterol in a unhealthy way because it raises the LVL cholesterol, the low viscosity lipid panel. And these are basically your lipoproteins. You don't need too many of them in the blood because they'll kill you. You see what I'm saying? So think about that. Think about the processed meats, vegan meats, the process, and this goes for the regular biological movement where people eating cows and stuff like that. Half of y'all don't even have grass-fed cows. Even though that these grass-fed cows still get killed, release hormones and stress cortisol into their blood, and then you eat this cow. This cow is full of acids and proteins that your body cannot uniquely break down because it can't go through a methylation process, and I want to talk about that. It don't go through a methylation process. The actual hydrochloric acid inside of your stomach sac that's in the fungus in the body of your stomach is not even hot enough to break it down. So then you get these mutated, half broken down proteins from meat, and then they go into the small intestinal tract called the duodenum. They mess with the villi of the hair structure. Then they start messing with the actual microbiota or the microbiome that's inside of the gut. And then you literally get leaky gut. It starts messing with your intestines. You get all this visceral fat from it. I mean, there's so many different scholarly articles that show that meat eating is bad, especially for so-called African Americans. I can be talking here for hours, and I got literally in my book, it's damn near a 2-chapter section just talking about on why you shouldn't be eating meat and dairy products. But if you look in my book on the veganism, boy, it's about, man, that deal about what, 8 pages, not be? Because that's how bad the vegan movement have became, family. So all of it's bad. The only diet that's a good diet for us is the diet that was intended for us in the beginning. That is fruits, that is berries, that is melons, that is nuts, that is seeds, that is certain grains that actually go through methylation and breaks down into your body the correct way. And then you can eat these things and gain all the phytonutrients from them. You see that? Nuts and seeds. That's our diet. And then our liquid source was either spring water, groundwater, coconut water, or they actually had their water from the fruit and the vegetables that they ate. Anything outside of that, family, anything outside of that, I'm going to call a processed food. Now, you have different types of processed foods. You have processed foods where it take certain steps before it gets to your home. And then you have ultra processed foods where it never started from a biological entity in the first place. So I want to start with that first. Let me say this again. Write this down, family. You have 2 types of processed foods. The first one is where it's the first step is just called processed foods. That's when it comes from a biological being or biological entity like a plant, like an animal. Then you take it through these different machineries and factories and processes to create a product. Then you have something called ultra processed where it don't even come from a living thing, family. Literally, it doesn't come from a living thing. So once y'all write that down, type in some 7s, and then we're going to break this down. We're going to break it down. Matter of fact, let me do this. I want to Google it for y'all can see this for yourselves. So let me Google this and just, show y'all. This is what I'm going to do. So I just pulled it up. Let me blow it up for y'all real quick. Now check this out, family. It says processed foods manufacturing is the process of taking ingredients created through food processing and using them to make a final food product. See that once you make a food product, technically is truly not a food anymore. All right. Now, check this out. It says the main difference between food processing and manufacturing is that processing turns. Look, listen to this, family. I want y'all to hear what this is finna say. It says, ooh, this is deep. It says the main difference between food processing and manufacturing is that processing turns raw materials into ingredients while manufacturing uses those ingredients to create a final product. See that? So they're taking raw material and then they're processing it, and then it's for real, it ain't even edible no more for us. And that is what's going on, and that's what's wrong. So I want to show y'all something because, and I talk about the potato chip all the time how it comes from a potato. And certain potatoes actually have phytochemistry and phytonutrients, bioflavonoids, minerals, amino acids, and everything that we need. But if you take a potato and you eat it, that's fine. But when you take a potato chip and eat it, it'll kill you. For one, it would dehydrate you. And the reason why it would dehydrate you is because all of the water molecule, all of the H3O2 that was in it, and all the H2O from the rain and from the watering of that crop is gone because they dehydrate it and suck it out. For two, they slice it up. They slice it up, which is what your mouth, your molars do. For three, they heat it up, which is what your stomach do. So what we're going to talk about is basically whenever you eat a processed food, you are actually eating a bowel movement. You are eating a do turd. And I just want to show y'all that. All right. So if y'all ready to go through that, type in some nines, I'm going to pull out the cadaver and let's go through it. I'm going to show you how when you eat food that is not straight directly from source. See, the first source is you grow it yourself. That's what I do with I say I'm going to be generous and I'm not going to be the big head. I say about 73% of the foods that I eat, I grow myself. You know what I'm saying? So the first source is growing your food yourself and eating it. That is literally from the soil to the table. Nothing gets healthier. Nothing gets better than that. Nothing gets healthier. Nothing gets better than that. Now, the second thing is when it passes two hands, which means you're going to shop at your local's farmer's market. That means that the local's farmers, they grew it. Then after they grew it, they took it out. They cleaned it off for you. They put it in the most cheapest containers ever because they finna give it straight directly to you. But they have to drop, if they not setting up shop themselves somewhere on the corner, or if they not going to the farmer's market to hand it directly to you, then it's two sources. But if they got to give it to produce at Whole Foods and they got to give it to produce, that is five sources. So the first source is from the soil to the table, from your yard to your table. The second source is from the soil to the farmer to your table. You see that? That's the second best one. The third best one is from the soil to the farmer. The farmer gotta clean it. Then the farmer take it to the grocery store and put it in organic produce. That's five different exchanges they have to do before it gets to you. That's not a good thing. So the whole thing we need to try to be doing is we need to try to cut it down. So a lot of people are constantly blaming, mineral deficiency on they stripping the soil of minerals. I totally agree. I get that. I had to literally induce and love and care for my land to get the minerals back in it. Matter of fact, my land is so perfect right now. There's damn gophers and damn, what you call them, ground moles. So many worms and fungus in my land. The moles is digging it up because we done created and cultivated the land so much to grow our foods that it's rich with soil, it's rich with the minerals, it's rich with nutrients, it's rich with nitrogen, it's rich with everything it needs to grow and yield a crop for we can get the adequate amount of phytonutrients and phytochemicals in my family's mouths and bellies. So what's going on is it's just being processed too much. There's too many processes going on. Then they're trying to hurry up and grow these crops. So they're doing certain types of selective breeding to these crops to get them to you. Not only that, it's passing through, it's going on trucks. Guess what trucks have? Carbon dioxide. You see that? It's going on trucks. Trucks, you got to spray and clean your trucks off with chemicals to make sure that they clean. So just, we're not even thinking about all of these things or how our food got to us. You just so hungry and your belly growling and you letting these demons or what I call parasites control you. Because look, and the reason why I'm talking about this so freely is because they controlled me at one time. I'm talking about in the midst of my healing, in the midst of me being a teacher, in the midst of me traveling, going to colleges and speaking amongst some of the biggest people in the world, in the midst of me selling out colleges and selling out these different types of rooms, having 3,000 people come to my conferences. I'm teaching y'all what you supposed to do, and my black butt wasn't even doing what I was supposed to do. And that's the reason why I had to change, because the one thing you don't want to do is be teaching somebody about what they need to be doing and you don't even look like it. How are you teaching somebody about health and you don't look healthy? How are you teaching somebody about working out and building muscles and you ain't got no muscles? You ain't shredded. How are you doing it? How are you teaching somebody about acrobatics and you can't even do a split? How are you teaching somebody about fighting and you don't even know how to get in your boxing stance? How are you teaching somebody how to sing and you can't hold a note to save your life? We must look like what we teach. We must look like who we say we are. We can't be saying we are somebody and not being that. And I was that. I was saying I was somebody. I knew I was that person. I used to be that person, and I fell out. And I let my lust and I let my addictions get the best of me. So you can see my journey where I look good and then I get big. And I wasn't even that big, y'all. I mean, I wasn't a fat guy. People called me fat. Of course, the camera gonna add 10 pounds to you. And we get that a lot, don't we not be? When we get to the conference, they say, man, you look fat on camera, but you wasn't fat. Mind you, though, I was very overweight because I'm 5'6" and I was 180, 185 pounds. I even pushed 190 before. You see that? But I always been a little guy unless I was sick. So this just shows you in the middle of me teaching y'all how to heal, I was sick because I had visceral fat. And if anybody know what visceral fat does, the whole purpose and point of fat is to hold toxins. That's the point and purpose of fat. That's the point and purpose of fat. And it holds actual estrogen. When you look at what fats or what you would call adipocyte cells or adipose tissues. When you look, and that's why there's no such thing. See, obesity is a disease, y'all. Obesity is what I would call a disease. It's uncomfortable and it's taking on these fats. And that's why I like to say that these diseases are the body way of healing itself. For all these toxins will not go in. Look, so the body will create fats, right? Or adipocytes to hold on to too much progesterone, to hold on to too much estrogen, to hold on to too many hormones. That way you won't go through a metabolic change and go through a hormone disruptor in your body and it totally throw your computer off whack. Or you will bring in too many toxins and then fat will accumulate to hold those toxins. If you look at what fat does, it engulfs toxins, it engulfs things. And then what it would does, it will go outside of the organ and it will set up shop there. What do you think fatty liver disease is? Fatty liver disease is just that. It's cholesterol, lipid-based adipose adipocyte tissues holding on to toxins that your liver could not detox, or that the bowel inside your liver could not detox the right way. So what will happen is these cells will engulf those toxins, and then the more toxins you bring in, the more adipose tissues are created to keep swallowing those toxins and clunking them together. That's why I say you don't need to lose weight. You need to lose waste. You don't need to lose weight. You need to lose waste. And when you lose the byproducts of what you'll call waste from the actual biological structure, weight will automatically leave with it. Now, guess what is the most toxic foods on earth? Ultra processed foods and some of your processed foods. And the reason why is because it's not real food. Y'all get that? If y'all got that so far, type in some nines. Yes, I've been loving this raw diet I've been on. We've been on it for many, many, many months. I don't plan on going off of it. Loving the workouts. I do PEMF every single night. I lay on the mat. I get in the sauna every single night. We working out, we walking, we stretching, we meditating. I'm doing biophotomodulation. I'm getting in the light bed. I'm receiving my vitamin D. Today we just did what we do today? Oh, we did our IV therapy today. I got my vitamin B complexes in liquid form. I got my amino acids in liquid form. What else we get, man? We got a bunch of vitamin C from an incredible good source. Man, we just had a multi-cocktail, and that's the good thing about having your own clinic, because, there is no excuse for me. Everything I need is here. Everything I need is right here. Everything. And so I don't have an excuse. Now, B don't have an excuse. It ain't no way we possess all this knowledge we got all this equipment we got, have the knowledge and the intellect and the wisdom to be able to make our own protocols, be able to mix I run a multi-million-dollar herbal company. I have a 22,000 square foot warehouse. We sell tons and tons of herbs a month. Ain't no way I should be overweight, family. Just ain't no way. Ain't no way I should be overweight. Ain't no way I should be out of breath when I'm running up the stairs. You see what I'm saying? And if you look at who's over the health right now, and you start looking at these alphabet letters and these people that's in control of your health, they are overweight people. Overweight people that don't even look like us. And it's like, dang, now I see why most people didn't want to listen to me. Even though that my information was correct, even though that my information made sense, even though that hundreds of thousands of people applied my information and it worked, the messenger was wrong. The messenger didn't look like the message. How can you be a messenger and don't look like your message? And that used to eat me up inside, y'all, but I had an addiction. I was so addicted to the processed food because we was on the road so much, I had to overcome it and beat it. And only if y'all knew the spiritual battles I went through to get off this stuff. But I'm going to show y'all how to do it. I'm going to show y'all how to do it. So let's pull it out. Let's pull out the stuff, Nabi. Let me show y'all how to do this. So, Nabi, if you can't cut this light on for me. All right, y'all. So I'm finna show y'all how this work. I'm finna show you that your body is made. Your body is actually made to break down this stuff. Your body is made to process your foods. It is called methylation. There is nothing that go on in your body that doesn't go through methylation. In fact, if you really look at it for what it really is, there is no chemical in your body that stays the same when it make it into your body. I don't care if you're talking about your vitamin B complexes. I don't care if you're talking about your minerals, your cations, your anions. I don't care if you're talking about your carboxylic acid, your amino acids. You're talking about your hemoglobin. You're talking about your oxygen. Anything that goes in your body your body have to agree with it first. Then once your body agrees with it, what happens is it go through something called methylation. Methylation is the changing thereof. And then you change these chemicals into your phytonutrients. You change these things. Even when you smoke weed, say if you smoke a joint right now, that THC have to go through methylation to be activated for you to even receive the high from it. And no, I am not promoting any smokers on here. We don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't do none of that. Now, let me show you what this is. Hold on. Let me just type in this methylation process. Yeah, that way y'all don't be thinking I'm just up here making stuff up. All right, let me share my screen with y'all real quick, and then I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. So this is for methylation. So when you look at methylation, methylation is methylation is a chemical reaction that adds methyl groups to molecules such as DNA, protein, RNA. See that? This process can affect how these molecules function in your body. So everything you eat, it have to go through a process of methylation anyways, or it ain't gonna work anyways. And guess what? You have certain amino acids in your body that make sure that methylation process is working. So if you can't go through the process of methylation, I don't care what you bringing into your body anyway, it ain't gonna work. You can bring in all the phytonutrients you want. You can bring in all the phytochemicals you want. You can bring in you can eat raw. You can eat nothing but fruits, berries, and melons. If you don't fix the methylation part, and if you don't fix the actual amino acids that helps you with the methylation part, you're not going to be able to break down your food and utilize it in the first place. And your first processing part of your actual body, because you are a food processor. All they did was they created a chemical factory called the Food Industry Manufacturing Company, and they took these machines and they based these machines off of each individual organ and system of your body. That's what they did. That's what they did. So if you can, Nabi, let's talk about it real quick. I'm gonna bring this up so they can see this. Let's take these off. If y'all can still hear me typing some nines, I got a mic right above my head. So if you can hear me typing some nines, typing some nines if you can hear me, and I'm gonna keep it going. Make sure y'all write this up, though, because this is powerful. This is powerful. So, the first processing is always the mouth. Matter of fact, let me sit it down real quick. So, the first processing is always the mouth. If you can, Nabi, would you go back there to the other set and give me some teeth real fast? Nabi is finna get me some teeth real fast because I want to show y'all what they're doing. And this is why you have to process your food. See, process your food, but do not eat processed food. You are the food processor. If you let machines eat your food before you get it, you're not eating nothing but a bowel movement. Let me say that again. If you let a machine process your food before you eat it and naturally process it, you're not eating nothing but a bowel movement, meaning you're not even getting all the nutrients and the phytochemicals and the bioflavonoids and all the anthocyanins and the things that you need from the food to rebuild your molecular structure. You're not even getting that. You see that? You're not even getting it whatsoever because the machine got it. And they taking it all out of you anyway because they want to make you hungry. Yep, that one right there at work. No, this one right here. Thank you. So look, So the first thing about processing is your teeth. And this is why it's very, very important that we make sure that we are super chewing our food. So whenever you get ready and you done stop eating the ultra processed foods and you ready to only keep it down to a minimum 5 hands, before it gets to your mouth, start this process. Because whether you super chew ultra processed food or super chew processed foods, you ain't gonna get nothing out of it anyway because it's already processed. But if you cut down the hand to mouth and you get straight from soil to table, or you get from farmers market to table, or in worst case scenario, family, from produce section to table, because I've been having to do that a lot lately because we're going out of our growing season. Luckily, I got my greenhouse up, but a lot of people been catching me in the produce area and Fresh Time and Whole Foods lately because there's certain foods that I need that I ain't got available because the season is changing. But since I got this, my greenhouse finally completed, it's going up. It's going up this one, I promise you that. So the first processing is through the mouth. These teeth right here. You have to grind your food. Remember, only carnivores chew up and down. But when you look at frugivores and you look at herbivores, our teeth really do this while we chewing. When we chew it, they make this grinding-like effect, showing you that naturally our food's supposed to be actually chewed up into an actual liquid before we swallow it. And what I noticed is since I've been chewing like this, and I used to chew like this a while ago, but since I've been chewing like this, guess what? I actually get full quicker when I chew that way. So when I chew that way, I get fuller quicker because not only am I taking my time with my food, but I'm actually chewing it in the right way instead of chopping up and down and swallowing like I'm a carnivore, because they have the hydrochloric acid that is hot enough to actually break down these foods, right? And then they only are going through about 10 to 12 feet of intestines. You have 36 long, look, you're 36 feet long intestines, showing you that you go through a process called fermentation methylation. They go through something called putrefaction methylation. It's a different process. Your bowels are way too long. Your intestines is way too long for you to just be smacking on your food 2 times and then swallowing it. That's what carnivores do. See, you are a frugivore with herbivore capabilities. You're supposed to chew your food and you're supposed to grind your food in a way. When you chew, notice what your jawbones do. It acts as a grinding effect. Then once that food actually is down to a pulp or a liquid, then you swallow it. And the first thing you're going to know is them big portions and plates that you used to eat, you don't even have to eat those no more because you are actually fuller quicker. Let me say that again. You're going to notice that you get fuller quicker. So that big old plate you used to have become a small plate now. Now you be like, man, I can't eat the rest of this. But thank you for cooking for me, though. Thank you for making this food for me, though. You see that? So if you want to cut weight and if you want to get rid of addictions, the first step is doing what? Making sure that you chewing and super chewing your food properly. That's the first step. So first step, let's write down, is I need somebody to put this in the comment board. If you can, put it in the comment board. Make sure that you are super chewing your food properly. All right. Make sure that you super chewing your food properly. And how you know if you super chewing your food properly, you won't get bloating and you won't get gas. See that? Bad indigestion showing you that you just swallowing your food. You rushing through your food. All right. Another thing is you won't feel as full. Never eat to be full. Always leave a little space in that stomach for hunger, because that actually initiate the spirit. That keep the spirit going, because you need to be fed by flesh and you need to be fed by spirit. But if you all full off the flesh, there's no room for the spirit, or who they call the Ruach HaKodesh, to reside in you. That's why most spiritual people are always in a fasted state. Monks are in a fasted state. You see that? Whenever you look, anybody that is obtaining life, knowing oneself, and that wants to really stay connected to higher dimensions, they always in a fasted state. Super chewing your food helps you get there because you get faster, quicker, and you're not going to eat the whole plate. And never eat to be full. All right? Never eat to be full. All right, now let's go on to the next one. So the first thing was the actual food, right? Now, this is what they actually do in these processing labs. They're going to give you the food. They're going to take the food, and then once they take the food, they clean it. Now, inside of your mouth, while you're chewing, because they're going to slice the food up, always slice it up first, because they need to extract all of the chemicals and the nutrients out of it. And the reason why they need to extract all the chemicals and nutrients out of it is because if they give it to you in its whole form, then you're not going to be hungry for a long time. And you're going to be able to say, I will eat that again tomorrow. I don't need another plate today. And that's the reason why potato chips, if you check them, they don't have any nutrients inside of them because they cook, they bake, and they process all of the phytochemicals and phytonutrients out of the actual potato. That way you will get hungry again and you need to eat more and more. And that's the reason why potato chips are so addictive, because you're still hungry, but you just chewed and now you got your salivary glands secreting trypsin, secreting all these different alkaline enzymes like amylase and amylose, and you don't even have the proper food for these things can break it down and clean it. So this go to my next point. So after you process the food by super chewing it, since you super chewed it, now it's time to break it down even more. This is how you know that your body is a biological processor. So the first step is you chew it. Next is you actually have these enzymes inside of your mouth, your salivary glands that produce amylase, amylose, trypsin. What amylase, amylose, and trypsin is, it's a alkaline salivary glands that's going to help you more alkaline your food to get ready for the hot process it's going to go through when it hits the stomach, but we're going to talk about that later. And it helps you clean the food of any types of bacteria and things that's on the food that ain't supposed to be in your digestive tract. Let me say it again. You know how you put your clothes, like for people with herpes, we tell them to wash their clothes on a warm cycle and then wash their clothes on a cold cycle, then put it in high temperatures when you dry it. Why are we telling you to do that? We're telling you to do that because of two reasons. And these are the two reasons. When you're getting rid of Fasciolopsis buski worm, what's happening is they lay eggs because they want to survive. So if they want to survive, what they do is they lay eggs before they die. And they lay eggs before they die so they can hatch again and keep replicating their genes and DNA so they don't go nowhere. So sometimes when you kill the big parasites, you don't get all of the small ones out. So these small ones come out, they be on your bedding because you're shedding, because you've been detoxing. They're on your pillowcase because you've been shedding, because you've been detoxing. You know, they on your clothes because you've been shedding, because you've been detoxing. And then these actual larvae hatch. So how to get rid of them is simple. What you need to be doing is you need to wash them on a hot cycle. Then you wash them on a cold cycle. Then you dry them in high heat. The same thing happens to your mouth when you first eat your food. You eat your food, you have this cooling down effect of your food. This happened from trypsin. This happened from amylase. And now, and mind you, these alkaline foods is only made to break down alkaline forming foods. It's not made to break down meat and things like that. You need a high acidic type of medium or serum to even break down meats and to break down complex proteins and complex sugars. These are made to break down simple sugars, monosaccharides, disaccharides, not polysaccharides or nothing like that. So this even show you, even according to the actual saliva, the pH of the saliva and what the saliva is only made to break down simple sugars. And guess where these simple sugars come from? Fruits, berries, melons, vegetables, some nuts, most of your seeds, and literally a few. And when I mean a few grains. And the grains I'm talking about is actually grains as fruits, and they really not even classified as grains because they're part of the Caryopsis family. And we could talk about that as well. So first step, super chewing. Next step. All right. Next step is that the salivary glands starts cooling down the food. Once the salivary glands starts cooling down the food, now your food is not all dry, because remember, you're processing it. Now it's going to go down the actual throat and esophagus. When it goes down the throat and esophagus, it usually ends up in what you would call the stomach. In order for it to get to the stomach, it has to pass through the actual cataract sphincter. Then it passes to the cardiac sphincter, and then it makes it to the stomach. Now, when it gets to this stomach, the stomach has these goblet cells in it that's mixed with mucus. When this mixed with mucus, this is going to create what you will call hydrochloric acid. Now, what hydrochloric acid makes is something called pepsin. And this is where you get the word pepsinogen from. When people can't break down a food, they suffering from gas and indigestion, they actually go to the store and buy pepsinogen, and that's all making, it's all, look, everything you see in creation is actually making a mockery of your body. The camera lens come from your eyes. You see that? When you look at the actual tailpipes, or you look at the exhaust pipe of an actual car, that represents your intestines. If you look at a catalytic or a Cadillac converter, that represents your liver. If you look at the actual wiring of the car, that represents your nervous system. No matter what you look at, a radio represents your voice box. Speakers represents your ears. All of these things are made after biological anatomy because you are the fingerprint in the blueprint of God itself. So everything in creation will have to be created after you because you are a biological living entity that you're a unique representation of the Creator. So you can't create nothing without the Creator being involved in it, because the Creator is involved in all things, living and unliving. So you start seeing like these camera lenses that y'all looking at Dr. Yahki on right now. These are representing the cornea and the lens, the iris of your eye. They even call it these things. So there is nothing new up under the sun, family. There isn't. There isn't whatsoever. So now check this out. So it's in the stomach. Now that it's in the stomach, hydrochloric acid is going to hit it. So boom, first thing, it went through the mouth. We chewed it. Same thing they do with the potatoes, or they do with all the other food. They slice it up. They slice and dice it first. Next thing they do, they wash it because they want to get all the debris and clean it. Same thing that trypsin and amylase do inside the mouth. It's called saliva. It comes from the salivary glands. It's going to wash that food. Make sure there's no anaerobic bacteria on it, any parasites in it. It's going to try to kill that. Then it's going to go through another step because it have to go through a hot and cold cycle. Then it's going to dry it. Same thing I teach you how to do with your clothes when you're detoxing. It's going to go down the esophagus. It's going to pass the cardiac sphincters right here. Then it's going to go in the stomach. When it gets in the stomach, it's going to go to the actual body of the stomach, the fungus of the stomach, or or the atrium of the stomach. And then these goblet cells are going to mix with mucus. This is going to create something called hydrochloric acid. And there's an issue that we've been seeing in the clinic here, is that everybody hydrochloric acid is not hot enough anymore. And that's the reason why you have most of your parasitic infections. Let me say that again. A lot of you guys' hydrochloric acids is not hot enough anymore. And that's the reason why you are suffering from a bunch of parasitic infections. Look, don't get it twisted. Fruits and vegetables have so many parasitics in it. Fruits and vegetables have so many parasitics in it. You think I'm lying? Just get you some white vinegar and soak it in your strawberries. Get you some borax, or I mean not borax. Get you some sodium bicarbonate, or what they call sodium powder, baking soda powder, and just put it in your strawberries, put it in your blueberries, put it in your blackberries. There's going to be a bunch of creepy crawlers that come from it. Do you think back in the day they was actually putting all this stuff inside of their food? You can't tell me that 10,000s of years ago, Nabi, they was going to berry bushes, picking the berry bushes and soaking them in vinegar, or soaking them in what you would call sodium bicarbonate. They wasn't. They wasn't at all, because they intuitively knew that these things like vinegar is made by the human body naturally. They knew that sodium bicarbonate, or what you'll call baking soda, is made by the natural human body, is made in the pancreas. And that's the reason why the digestive system is so important. The pancreas makes natural sodium bicarbonate. You see that? The intestines make natural vinegar. You have hydrochloric acid inside of your stomach. The body even naturally makes alcohol, y'all. The body makes its own THC, y'all. Is it really these outside sources that's doing something to our body? Or are we doing something to the outside sources and then using these things after we create the metabolites to do something for our body? You are the God. That's what I'm trying to show y'all. It's amazing when you really think about it. It's amazing when you really think about it. But check this out. All right, so now that it's inside of the actual stomach and hydrochloric acid is made, now it starts to break down the foods. Now, since it's breaking down the foods is be able to, now it went from macro molecules, or it went from macro nutrients to micro molecules and micronutrients. So now what's going to happen is the pancreas, since it came from the stomach, all of that hot, what you would call hydrochloric acid. Oh, I need to switch cameras. My bad, y'all. Now, since it came from the stomach and all of that hot hydrochloric acid is still hot, when it makes it to this small intestinal tract right here, called the 9-inch duodenum, it has to become alkaline again. So what's going to happen is, as it's passing through from the stomach, through the atrium and the pyloric sphincter and making its way into the duodenum or the duodenum, whichever one y'all want to call it, what's going to happen is the pancreas, not the tail of the pancreas, but the posterior part of the pancreas is going to release its own baking soda called sodium bicarbonate into the small intestinal tract. Ain't that beautiful, Nabi, when you think about that? So once it's acidic, because it came from this hot environment, it passes through, now it's going to be alkaline again. And I'm going to show y'all a video of them making ultra-processed food. When they going down these assembly lines, they're doing the same exact damn thing, family. They're chewing the food up with a machine. Then after they chew the food up with a machine, they wash it to get all the debris out. Same thing the saliva do. Then once they do that, they heat up the food. Same thing that your stomach do when it get introduced to the hydrochloric acid. Then they cool it off again and to make sure it's clean again. Same thing they do when the actual pancreas is releasing sodium bicarbonate and digestive enzymes into the actual pyloric sphincter to go into the duodenum to further break these foods down. Now, once it hits the pyloric sphincter, y'all, all of the phytochemicals and phytonutrients are extracted from the food in your stomach. Your body is a biological processing manufacturing machine, family. Facts. These are facts. I mean, we're proving it right now. Then, after all of the chemicals, all the phytonutrients, all the micronutrients, all of the macronutrients is separated, guess what's happening? Now it's finna go into what you would call the small intestines. So then it starts making its way into the jejunum, the ileum. This is where you get the iliac valve from. And then all of this absorbing is happening on the way, stripping all of the actual nutrients that you need and bringing it into the bloodstream for you can feed. But then what's going to happen is all of those macronutrients that doesn't need to be eaten, it goes through the large intestines. It's going to go into the actual cecum. Once it gets to the cecum, it's going to go up the ascending colon. Then it's going to go through the transverse colon, down the descending colon. From the descending colon, it goes through the sigmoid colon, out the rectum and out the anus. And then boom, you call that poop. Now, guess what step we're missing when we eat processed foods, family? The step we missing when we eat processed food is we only get the macro. We don't get the micro. See, when you take it in your body processes, separate the micro from the macro, and all of those micronutrients get absorbed in the bloodstream, get utilized by the adrenal glands. Now you can digest. Now you can absorb. Now you can utilize, and now you can actually methylate. From that methylation causes elimination, and then you get to rebuild your molecular structure. But when you eat ultra-processed foods, it goes through the same exact damn thing, except they take all your macronutrients and they throw it away. Or they sell it to a laboratory, or somebody come get these macronutrients and they use them for supplement companies like GNC and stuff like that. And then they sell you the waste byproduct. So if you eat any type of processed foods, you are literally eating a bowel movement that have no nutrients inside of it, because the only thing that's supposed to be processing your food is your biological body, because you are the food processor. And I think once we really get that together and understand what I'm saying here, like really understand what I'm saying, you will be able to lose weight. The addictions will stop. I'm telling you right now, if you super chew your food correctly, the addictions will stop. You'll start starving them parasites out. I'm telling you right now, Nabi, would you come clean this table off for me, please? I'm telling you right now, and you can turn that light back off. I'm telling you right now, if you eat your food the correct way, it will stop. I'm telling you right now that if you cut down the many hands that is touching your food before it get to you, you can stop the addiction. See that? The only way to stop the addiction is stop feeding the parasites. Thank you, Nabi. Be careful. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, man, all y'all throw some nines up and let Nabi know that we love him dearly, man. Everybody in the comments, let not be know how much we love him. Sometimes you just have to give flowers where it's due. Sometimes you have to recognize your people. Not be, we love you, man. You're a beautiful brother. You do a lot for me. I don't know nobody other than moms that really support me like you support me. You got my back. You here with me every step of the way, brother. I money can't even repay you for as much as you do for me, brother. I truly love you, man. Hey, let not be know how important he is, y'all, because this thing works because all the different individual pieces, and not be is definitely one of those pieces, y'all, and he need to know that flat out. And that's just the facts. That's truths. That's truth. They all typing nines for you. So that just shows you how we need to get off these foods, because we are eating the actual byproduct. And what's in the byproduct of any food? Even what's in your byproducts? Toxins. What's in your byproducts? Waste, metabolic toxins. And that's what they're feeding us when we eating processed foods. So I think that we truly, truly need to start growing our own food, family. I've been saying this for years. I started doing it. You can do it too. I always tell y'all that, if you're not fortunate enough, I hate to say that word, if you're not fortunate enough, you can start on your kitchen counter. You can start growing cucumbers. You can start growing tomatoes. They have artificial lights that can grow food in your home. There is really no excuses, family. We have to do it. You know how long I sold what you would call, well, we ain't even sell them. We gave away seeds, thousands of seeds for free. Am I lying, Nabi? Thousands of seeds. Every university, every black college we went to, we gave away organic heirloom seeds dated. Some was dated back to the mid 1900s. I mean, good seeds, and not nobody posted a picture of them growing it. Guess who? Look, and I'm not being racist, but guess who showed the pictures of them growing it? It was a Latino. It was a Latino, and it was 2 Caucasians and 3 so-called African Americans, and 3 African Americans out of everybody. I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm handing out all of these seeds for free. All I said was, if you grow something, send me pictures of it, post it on the internet, tag me in it, and once it yields seed, send me seeds back. That's it. I was trying to start a seed bank. I was trying to literally start a seed bank, and y'all was very, very uninterested in it. Y'all was interested in the seeds, but then none of y'all do the work, because if y'all did the work, I'm pretty sure that y'all would have sent it to me. So, that was very disheartening to see. But we're going to start this thing back up. I'm starting my tours again next year. For now on, we riding it out. We having another class here. For now on, every seminar and lecture, because we teaching them in educational styles. We really teaching y'all in certification style here. We're gonna do everything here. When you come here and you actually get your certification, you learn about herbs, you get your certificates and stuff like that. We're gonna do that here in St. Louis, Missouri, at our clinic. But next year, once we start this again, do right by the herbs. I don't think y'all know the actual energetic karma come from getting something from Mother Nature, getting something from the Creator on high, and not being a good steward over it, or not using it. And we know that if you don't use it, you will lose it. These things, talents is not like riding a bike. Talents and a gift is given to you by the Creator, and you're supposed to amplify the Creator through your talent and your gift. And if you're not doing it with your gift, it will be taken from you, and somebody else will harness it and use it and be, tens of thousands of times better than you at that same gift. So let's make sure we utilize the stuff, especially if we get it for free, family. It says, I'll plant them personally, come to St. Louis to bring them to you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down with that. I want to see y'all growing your own food. I want to see y'all losing the weight, beating y'all demons. I want to see it. But a major thing to this too is, according to how I just told y'all to eat, make sure that you're eating non-processed foods. And while you eating these non-processed foods, make sure that you're choosing that 6-hour window to eat. We never eat past 6 p.m. We never eat before 12 p.m. You see that? You rise with the sun, and then you eat when the sun is at its highest in the sky, family. That is very, very, very important. And as much as you can, eat outside with the sun. And if you inside the home, try to eat sitting on the floor. All right. All of these are ancient traditions that made the food personal. When you think about food Food is very spiritual. It's communion. It's not only communion between you and that living substance that you eating. See, you can't have this communion if it's dead. At that point, it's a dark satanic ritual because you're in communion with the dead. We're not in communion with the dead. Let me light some of this Palo. We're not in communion with the dead. We're in communion with the living. So when you sitting down and you're eating and you're praying and you're doing affirmations over this food, there is a connection with biofields that's being made there. So now you're literally, and this is proven. And this is why most people, like, for instance, I was reading this book, right? I can't think of the book right now. When I find it, I promise you, I will let y'all know what it is. But it was talking about a book where before people planted their seeds, they sucked on the seeds. Now, B, I ain't tell you about this. I want you to come listen to this. So before people ate their seeds, they sucked on them. And then after they sucked on their seeds, it went through a methylation process. Then they planted their seeds. And it was proven scientifically, sucking on your seeds or putting saliva on your seeds before you plant it, the plant will grow unique type of abilities just to aid what you need and what you missing in your body. Man, I'm not playing. I am not playing, man. And the book was talking about how it was started off as a myth because he was wondering, it was folklore because all of the ancient people used to do it. And then once they started putting science behind it, they seen that the ancients or the elders used to actually suck on their seeds before they planted them. That way, when they planted them, when that seed sprung forth, it grew and it made unique changes due to the actual microbes and due to the actual micronutrients and phytonutrients and bioflavonoids to be available for you when you missing something. Ain't this deep, man? But look, it reminds me of the placenta movement. How, you know, a baby grows their placenta, and then once the placenta come out, if you have a lotus birth, all of the stem cells in that placenta, if you grind it up and put it in capsule forms, it supplies the baby throughout its life to being an adolescence, to being an adult with all the things it needs to rebuild and regrow its stem cells. It reminds me of that same type of ideology. So, you know, that's beautiful when you really think about it, man. The body is very, very amazing. Yes, yes, Cola speaks. Just like breast milk. Breast milk does the same thing. I agree, y'all. So, you know, man, when you really think about the human body, biological interactions and its relationship to Earth, I don't know nothing that is so valuable, nothing that is so important, and something that is so sensual. It's kind of sexual when you think about it, because it's so intimate, you know, especially when you're sitting around at the dinner table and you bowing your heads and you speaking affirmations over your food. And then my favorite part before I eat is when I bless the hands of those who created the food. Like, bless the hands of this woman for putting this beautiful, colorful, unique plate together. You know, may you bless her life. Let me not even use the word bless because it means be less. But may you give her prosperity. You know, may you give her longevity. May you give her everything that she needs, or even if it's a him or a brother or sister that's coming. But, you know, it's usually a woe man that's coming to cook for me, or I'm cooking myself. But, you know, like, my favorite part is smelling the food, bowing my head, saying the prayers, you know, asking the creator to make sure that this food give me nutrients, make sure that it strengthens my bones, make sure that any weaknesses within inside of my deoxyribonucleic acid is strengthened, make sure any minerals I'm missing, it replaces those minerals. And then I immediately go into affirmations and gratitude towards the hands that made the food. Just like we should be praying for farmers. How many of y'all don't pray for the farmers? Without the farmers, there would be no food because half of us don't even grow the food. You see what I'm saying? Just think about things like that. Think about that. Just think about if, like, literally, I just thank God for people, family. I do. I thank God for people and that choose to take their job serious and be vigilant with it. Because without that, I mean, there won't be no us. So it's just a beautiful thing, family, straight up. But yes, eating is communion with God. Eating brings your relationship and makes your relationship closer with God. You know, when you start eating the right way, you start having empathy for life. You start having empathy for other things. You start having empathy for creatures that bleed. You know, like, eating literally, it thickens and it makes your relationship with the Creator better when you eating healthier, and it gives you self-respect and it gives you self-love. You know, I love myself enough to know that these foods are killing me, so I'm not gonna eat it no more. Because at this point, There is no difference between ultra processed foods and a drug. They are the same exact thing. Ultra processed foods and drugs are in the same category because they both they back you up lymphatically, they back you up interstitially, they back you up systemically. You see that? They mess with your kidneys. They break down your kidneys. It taints your blood. It changes your pH and makes you acidic. It does the same thing that you all or raving and talking crazy about the medicine community for. The ultra processed foods that you eat, the alcohol that you are drinking, the cigarettes that you are smoking, and the blunt material that you're rolling your weed up with is doing the same thing, family. Is bringing tar on your lungs. The alcohol is messing up your liver. Like these are drugs we're talking about. It's not foods. And that's why I hate calling them ultra processed foods, because once it goes to the ultra part, it's not a food anymore. It becomes a drug. And it's a drug because you are addicted to it, and then you get crazy side effects from it. Your number one cause to so-called disease, or what I'm going to call to extreme detoxification symptoms, is metabolic acidosis. Metabolic is the way your body breaks down food. Acids is what comes from your metabolism when you're eating acidic and mucus-forming foods. Facts. These are facts. So what's causing your so-called disease? Most of it is what you're putting in your mouth. Of course, you have environmental pollutants. Of course, you have contaminants. Of course, you have microplastics. They was checking sperm, y'all. They were checking sperm, and it was so many trillions of microplastics in the sperm, y'all. And let me show you how crazy and how beautiful the Creator is and what Earth does. Earth created a mycelium network, a fungi, a mushroom that eats plastic. Evolving as we speak. This is how amazing and how beautiful Earth is. It created, we have so much microplastic on the earth, y'all, that the earth created a mushroom specifically just to eat microplastics, because microplastic is killing us. It's in women's ovaries, it's in man's testes, it's all throughout your bloodstream, it's everywhere. I know I've been seeing microplastic when I'm doing hematology and I'm checking people's blood. I'm telling you, I haven't had nobody actually confirm it, but it looks just like it. It looks just like plastic in a solution. I'm like, man, it's got to be right. I can see metals in the blood. We can see parasites. I can see what's wrong with the cells, all of that. But it's this new substance that and I can see that. I can see that, y'all. I'm telling you. But I've been seeing some crazy things lately looking at this blood. And I know it's microplastics because it kind of looked like a cholesterol plaque buildup. It looked like a trapezoidal crystal inside of the blood, but it's too small to be a trapezoidal crystal. I bet you any money that's plastic. So I need somebody to work with me to see if we can get that figured out. But I'm pretty sure it is. So, I'm not knocking environmental pollutants. I'm not knocking contaminated water, which you can get a water filter for or dig your own well for. I'm not your silent killers in your households, like, your bleach and things like that. But I'm just saying the number one is that tradition. Eating your tradition is killing y'all. Well, my grandma ate this, I'm going to eat this. I'm from the South. We eat every inch of the pig. I done heard that a lot. I'm from the South. We eat every nook and cranny of the pig. And I say that's why you have hypertension. That's why you diabetes mellitus 1 and 2. That's why you're going through hyperpigmentation. All of these foods, your sodium is high. All of this is because of the tradition that you eating. And then you look at these traditions, they are not good for us at all. So the best thing to do is to overthrow the culture and create a new one, y'all. These are facts. And speaking of that, y'all, we got a new podcast coming out. The podcast is called At the Feet of My Elders. And I'm going to be bringing some of the most famous elders that's in the spiritual community, the healing community, the celebrity community. And we just going to bring them down. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk some deep stuff with them. You have to be over the age of 50. And it's going to be me at the feet of my elders, sitting at the gate of my elders. I'm going to be asking them good questions. And they're going to do just break down knowledge. So we're going to get Anthony Browder on here. We're going to get all of the OG, triple OGs. I want to get Baba Haru on here. I just want to get everybody on here to really, really just... It's time for that. We are missing rites of passage. We are missing the elders in the community. And that's the reason why I love Nabi so much. That's my elder. That's why I will never disrespect him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm at the feet of my elders. You know what I'm saying? When I need wisdom, because I'm in my young mind, what I do, Nabi? I call, hey, what you think about this, OG? Because I need to know this coming from a 50 or older perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not near that age yet. I need to know, you've been around the block longer than me. You know something that I don't know. You done been around the block. And imagine that coming from a spiritual sense. Imagine that coming from a holistic approach. Imagine that coming from just any type of approach. So I think at the feet of my elders podcast is gonna be big, man. So we gonna do that. I'm gonna kick that off next month. So anybody that y'all want at the feet of my elders podcast, just do hashtag in the comment board at the feet of my elders and tag them. Or if y'all don't have they tag, put their names and we'll reach out to them. I pay them good. I'll get them out here, put them in a nice hotel, and man, we have some of the deepest conversations ever for y'all. Yes, that's right. Hashtag at the feet of my elders. You think it's time to bring the phone lines up? Yeah. All right, I'm finna bring up the phone lines, y'all. I'm finna put it here, and y'all can call in. Look, what I ask y'all not to do is do not be calling over each other. Once we get somebody on the phone line, let it rest until they get their question asked, and I answer the question for them. For everybody that's in the comment board that keep asking about the Gorilla Mix, the Gorilla Mix will be on www.yakiawaken.com this Friday, y'all. It'll be on this Friday, okay? So let me put this in here for y'all. I think I got it in here for last time. Let me see. Y'all funny, man. These people be had me bugging them now, B. All right, so here go the number. It is 708-831-2335. 708-831-2335. Family, this is not my original phone number. As soon as we done with the podcast, I cut it off. Though there's no need you leaving millions of messages. You calling at 8 in the morning, I won't get it. I only use this for this call, y'all. I need time for myself. If I'm up on the phone with you at 3 a.m., I'm at the building at 9 a.m., I'm doing lives, I'm doing courses, when would I have time for me? Y'all have to be considerate of other people's time, and y'all not. And I get it, but y'all have to be.
From Kayla.
Peace. How you doing, Miss Kayla? Where you from?
Michigan.
You from Mississippi?
Michigan.
So if you can, turn your background down, because we tested this out. It was working real good. So turn your background down for me, and let's see if this worked. We thought we fixed it. Hopefully we did.
I'm checking on Michigan.
I can't hear it. Can you hear it, Nabi? Put it on speakerphone. I mean, do you got headphones to put in? Put in some headphones. See if that works.
I'm from Michigan.
Okay, you said she hung up.
No, I didn't.
Okay, there she go. You said you from Michigan. What's going on with you? Ask your question. Let's see if we can hear you good.
I got multiple sclerosis.
So you got multiple sclerosis?
Yes.
Okay, so we talked about multiple sclerosis the other day. Usually what's going on with multiple sclerosis is something that's going on with the thymus gland, and you're suffering with what you would call metabolic acidosis from what I've been looking at. And what I've been seeing with multiple sclerosis, just like the lesions on the brain. Do you have lesions on the brain, or are you immobile?
No.
Okay, so you able to walk around?
I barely can walk.
Okay, so you barely can walk, but you are still mobile. Okay, and you suffering from multiple sclerosis. So what I've been seeing with that, we always see that it's too many acids in the body, and your kidneys and your adrenals are not functioning properly, able to process and get those acids out of the body. So we call it metabolic acidosis. Them acids will build and back up interstitially, and then they end up in the glymphatic system. And once they get up in the glymphatic system, it starts to burn and leave lesions on the brain. So what I tell anybody with multiple sclerosis is I tell them to go on an all-fruit diet. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to your restroom and stick out your tongue and see if you see any white patches or lines on your tongue. If not, then you definitely can do an all-fruit, berry, and melon diet. If not, but if you do have thrust on your tongue, that means you have a high presence of Candida albicans, and we're going to have to do it another way. So if you can, walk to the bathroom and look at your tongue real fast and let me know.
Yahki, also some of your products, right? And I'm going to order more of them so I can get your 15 to 1500 collation And once I can get with you, order the price also. So you could tell me exactly what I need to
So what I would do
have
if I
the email also.
So yeah, you can email me at the email that you've been talking about. So I mean, anytime. This is what I would do if I was you. If I'm gonna tell you what Yahki would do if Yahki was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, I would immediately stop eating all processed foods. Immediately, I would eat only organic. I will eat nothing but organic foods. I will go on an 18-6 rule, which is called intermediate fasting. So literally, when I wake up in the morning, I will match my body to the circadian rhythm of the magnetism of Earth. So when I wake up in the morning, what I would do is when I wake up, the first thing I would drink is lemon water. I would literally get me some spring water or some earth water, and I will put lemon in it. And the reason why, because lemon have high amounts of citric acid, or if you don't like lemons, you can do limes. And this high amounts of citric acid comes with vitamin C. That's going to start an antioxidant process within inside of the body. So any of those free radicals you have roaming inside of the body, the lemon water in the morning on an empty stomach will help with that. Then as I drink that water, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I move my body and sweat. So I'm going to go outside in the sun between the hours of 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and I'm going to move my body in the sun with at least clothes on as possible. That way I am getting that sunlight and I am getting that biophotomodulation. And as I'm moving my body, I'm going to make sure that I sweat and I'm going to bring my heart rate up. This is going to activate not only what they call the immune system, but this activates the organs and this get the organs ready for the day. This actually take away cortisol and stress and all of that. Then after I get done with that, I want to move my lymphatic system even more. So once I get done with my workout in a fasted state, I'm going to go to the bathroom. When I go to the bathroom, after I have a bowel movement, because usually you should after you move your body and that cortisol actually get turned into dopamine and things like that from working out. Right after that, I'm going to get in the shower. Now, it's going to be a trick on my shower because I'm going to do an alternative shower. I'm going to shower in hot water first for 10 minutes. And then for the next 3 to 5 minutes is going to be cold water. This is going to help circulate not only my blood system, but it's going to help circulate my lymphatic system. Then after I get out of the shower, if y'all keep calling, I'm not going to take another call. Y'all see me on the phone. And then after I get out the shower, that's when I would start my day. Now, throughout this day, I'm still not eating nothing. I'm only drinking liquids. I'm not drinking no juice, no fresh fruit juice. I'm only drinking lemon water. Then at 12 noon, I will break my fast. When I break my fast, I will only break my fast with fruits, berries, melons. That's the only thing I'm going to break my fast with. Now, if you are too acidic, the fruits and berries and melons are going to have a bunch of toxins going to the system. If that's the case, then add fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables. But you're going to stay away from nuts and you're going to stay away from seeds for now, okay? So you're going to break your fast with this list that I'll provide you with the list, and then you break your fast with that list. Eat as a biggest meal as you can because I want you to eat heavy at 12. That way you have an extra 9 hours to digest and break down those foods. That way when you sleep, your body can go into a state of autophagy and use of system. See, a lot of people are doing right, but they're eating too late, and then it causes the innate immune system, or what you would call the lymphatic system, to not have energy because all that energy go towards the actual digestive, and you breaking down food while you sleeping when you're supposed to be restoring your body or resting or restoring your body. So at 12, I eat. Then right after I eat at 12, it's going to be 2. At 2 noon, I'm going to go on a 15-minute walk or a cool down, and I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do diaphragmatic breathing. I'm going to sit down and just breathe. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to move my body slowly for 15 minutes. Then at 3 o'clock, you should have another bowel movement, by the way, from those eating that fruit, berries, and melons, and then doing that 15-minute exercise. I'm walking a meditation. This should give you another bowel movement. So at this point, you're not even at 3 o'clock and you done had 2 big bowel movements because you moved your body when you got up, and now you're moving your body around 2. So at 3, you should have a bowel movement. Then at 4, you have your second smallest meal. So your first meal was big. That was at 12 noon. You ate when the sun was at the highest in the sky. You ate with the sun in the sun. The second meal is at 4. This is I think the third portal before the sun starts to go down within a few hours. So after 4, you're not going to really eat anything else. So at 4, you have light meals, a light snack. And we usually do a big vegan, not a big vegan, but a big fruit bowl. So I like to do berry bowl. Like I get so many berries. I get strawberries, I get blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, even goji berries that's in its ripened form, and I mix them all up together and I eat that. If you're still hungry after that, eat something. If you're still hungry after that, eat something up until 6 o'clock. But once 6 o'clock hit, you don't eat anything after 6 o'clock, because technically it takes your actual food up to 3 hours at the most when you're eating fruits, vegetables, and fruits, vegetables, melons, and berries, 3 hours to fully digest. So from 6 to 9, you're digesting that food. I need you in bed by 9 o'clock. Once you're in bed by 9 o'clock, now you're in bed and melatonin starts being produced. See, when you first woke up, cortisol is being produced. That is your stimulating hormone. That's called serotonin. That serotonin is made to keep you awoke. It made to keep you alert. Then at 9 o'clock, what's going to happen is melatonin is going to be produced. So when melatonin is being produced, what you're going to do is you're going to lay down and go to sleep. And then by 11 o'clock, if you in that delta wave sleeping, your body will start repairing itself, y'all. It'll start repairing itself. And what you're going to see is brain lesions slowly go away. What you're going to see is inflammation go away through the exercising, through skin brushing, through getting in the sauna, through doing what you would call jumping jacks, or through jumping rope, or through getting on a trampoline. All of this manually move your lymphatic system, or you can truly speed up this whole process by coming to my clinic. I'm telling you. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to, everybody's talking about it's past 9. I know, but I'm on here teaching, y'all. They like, it's past 9, Yahki. How you talking all this stuff and it's past 9? Now, B said that to me the other day. He said, boy, how you on there telling them the circadian rhythm, but you up?
So, Dr.
Yes.
So, you still recommend me to take my medication? But because I need to come see you whenever.
So as far as your medication, I can't tell you. One thing I can't do that'll get me locked up is telling you to stop taking your medication, and telling you not to consult with your primary care. So always talk to your primary care about a weaning process. Always talk to your primary care about any of this. Any advice that I'm telling you is for educational purposes. Why I'm here online. This is all education purposes. And this is all what I would do if it was me. Okay? Because I have to protect myself. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So always talk to your primary care. Now, I tell you what I would do if it was me. If it was me, I would go to my doctor. This is my last phone call I'm doing, y'all, because I can't even talk to her because y'all keep blowing me up. So what I would do is I would talk to my primary care, and I ask my primary care for a weaning process, and then I take it from there. Now, the beautiful thing about my herbs and what we do is, for most of the times, you can still take our herbs while you're on your weaning process. You just always take your medication an hour and a half before you take your herbs while you're weaning off. And also, most of the therapies that we have here at the facility, at the clinic, you can do them most of them you can do while you're on your medication. But me, I'm going to sit up here and tell y'all right off back, I'm not for medication. I am all about the natural way, but it's illegal for me to tell you to stop taking your medication.
Correct. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm ready to see you whenever you got.
Okay, I'm opening back up the schedule tomorrow, so just go on there and look. Also, shoot me an email as well, Kayla. Shoot me an email. What's your last name, if I can know it's you?
Kayla Foster.
Is your email associated with your name?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, shoot me an email now, and I have not beat pull it now. Shoot us an email. I have not beat pull it down, and then let's get you to the clinic. I can show you better than I can tell you. I'll tell you that.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Hey, so look, I'm not taking no other call, y'all, because y'all don't do right. Over 12 numbers, different numbers call. They not even listening. They just calling. They disrespecting the people that's on. And for those that's not disrespecting, forgive us. But for those that is, like, I'm not gonna even keep doing this. I gotta figure out a way to have a straight phone system, actual phone system that work different. Yeah, because that ain't gonna work. But look, I can answer a few questions on here. So if y'all want to send me a few questions on here, I answer them. It says, is breatharianism better than frugivore diet? I think breatharianism is so if you look at the different stages of diets, breatharianism is the first one. Then from breatharianism is liquiditarianism. So from breatharianism, and these are the highest of the highest, the close to the ether that you can get. The first one is breatharianism. And then after the breatharianism, the second one is liquiditarianism. And then from liquiditarianism, after that is going to be the actual monofruit eating, monofrugivorism. Then from monofrugivorism, you have frugivorism, or what you'll call polyfrugivorism, where you eat multiple fruits. Then from there, you got cooked frugivore, which is what I was for many years. I ate nothing but fruits. You can tell if you look at my weight from when I went to raw fruits to eating cooked fruits. And I did that for many years, y'all. When I say I was one of the first youngest black frugivores out here, really teaching that knowledge and bringing it to the community, that was me, y'all, and I'm just keeping it 100. H2O, the whole we are fruitarians and all of that. That was all Yahki that brought that to this generation. So it was that. And then once you get past that, once you get into the cooked frugivores, now you moving over to the vegetables. You see that? So that's how it really go. And then once you get super down the line, in creation, you start seeing them eat animals' flesh. But we didn't eat animals' flesh at first because we was made to live a minimum of 1,000 years and then transcend. So nothing died. So if nothing died, then what were we eating? We was made to live forever in the actual simulation and atmosphere that we was in. We didn't even breathe oxygen. You know, the oxygen event just happened what they call a few 100 million years ago. Let them tell it, but you know we wasn't even this color. We weren't even this color. A lot of us was green because of the sulfur and because of the hydrogen and the nitrogen that we was breathing. We actually was a greenish color, and that's the reason why if you look on most of the Kemetic stones, they're painted green. Their hue was green. Their vibratory resonance wasn't brown. You know, and I know that's hard. And when you start really thinking about reptilians or the reptilian brain or the mammalian brain, it starts really making you sit back and say, you know, or we created from why do I have a reptilian brain? Why is there a difference between my mammalian and my reptilian brain? And why is my reptilian brain in charge of state of fight or flight? It's survival mode. It's reproduction mode. You see that it's restoration mode. But my mammalian brain is the conscious side. So, you know, I think that we are more close to reptiles than we think. And that's the reason why when you see the evolutionary process in the woman's womb, that baby inside of that woman's womb, that's how you know, this is how powerful the womb man or the woman is. When that baby is in there and you start off as that blastio cell and then it turns into the embryo and then that embryo starts turning into the fetus, when it goes through its replication stage, y'all cannot tell me that it don't look like every other species in creation. Let me Google that real fast. Let me just Google that real fast. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. Embryology phases. Y'all can't tell me that you don't look like a fish. You don't have gills and, man, you look like all of that stuff. Look, check this out, family. Let me share my screen with y'all real quick. Let me share. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at the small one because we even start off as eggs. Look, check this out, family. Is it showing my screen?
We're a little lapse behind you.
All right, I'm showing it now. Check this out. So look, y'all look at this. So you start off fertilized eggs. All right, first off, because they would say we not reptiles, right, Nabi? Right. Because we mammals, you give birth, right? But technically, we are still reptilians in a sense because you still come from a what? An egg. And then you basically go through these stage and developments of mitosis, which is all it is, and these eggs divide. And then as these eggs divide, they break open and turn into a blastocyst. And then from that birth into the blastocyst, a biological entity is formed. Then that biological entity at 4 weeks become the fetus. You see that? And then between 4 weeks and 8 weeks, notice what they look like. They look like a seahorse. Do y'all look? Yeah, they look like any other thing. It got gills on it. It don't have any legs or anything. And if I can show y'all a chicken, I can show y'all a tadpole, I can show y'all all these things being born the same way, and they all look the same. So it's like when you're in the woman's womb, you go through every different cycle of mankind and kind of man before you become human. And I hate saying that word human. And then from that, you start seeing yourself grow. You know what I'm saying? So like, even when you look at it in that sense, you go through an evolutionary process. And I'm just saying, y'all. So, and there's a reason. And let me show y'all that, just in case y'all think I'm just making stuff up. The reptilian brain in humans. Let me share my screen again. And this comment Google, and I'm not really a Googler, but for quick stuff like this, I think it's good to do. Okay, reptilian brain in humans. Let me show y'all the reptilian brain. All right, it says the reptilian brain, also known as the lizard brain or primal brain, is the oldest part of the human brain and controls basic survival functions. State of fight or flight, right? Reproduction, right? Survival instincts, right? Controlling breathing, controlling heart rate, controlling temperature balance. So the reptilian brain is basically called the autonomic nervous system. And then these are pictures of the reptilian brain, or what they call the lizard brain. And then they say through evolutionary process, or as our consciousness expanded, we get the mammalian brain. And then we finally get the neocortex that merged with the limbic system, and they call this the human brain. So, you know, the whole idea of reptilians and reptiles is really not so far-fetched when you really start talking about this stuff, family. And that's why when you really get into biblical sense, or you get into ancient sense, they say that we are the serpent. The serpent is within you. The serpent it looks just like your intestines. The serpents look just like your vertebrae, your spinal column. The serpents look just like that, and it touches the back of and especially when you start getting into putting them in a comedic sense, all religions is talking about the anatomy and the physiology of your Bible, of your body, and this is facts. Let me say that again. All religion is talking about the anatomy and talking about the physiology of your body. I can show you right now, and if Nabi go get my brain, I can show you a brain that breaks down into 4 parts. And amongst that 4 parts, you have 4 rivers that flow from that part. And what flows of these 4 rivers is called cerebrospinal fluid, right? And then I can show you that the pineal gland actually produces this copper-like gold type of thing. And then the pituitary actually produces prolactin, or what you would call a milky substance. You can bring that here. That ain't the right one, but you can sit up there and look nice. But that ain't the one that come apart. But that produces a milky substance. So the land flowing of milk and honey is in your actual physical anatomy. I can show you what they was talking about, how Christ was crucified at the age of 33, how when you raise the kundalini energy or prana, and that spinal fluid, and it raises up your vertebrae, and it gets to the 30-degree vertebrae, how it executes itself and then spills over into the brain. Yep, that's it right there. Let me show them this real quick. Thank you, Nabi. You can put that one back then. So I just want to show y'all this. So if you look at this brain, right, I want to show you the brain come apart. So you have ventricles. You have the first ventricle, the second ventricle, the third ventricle, and the fourth ventricle of the brain. And then when you look at the brain breaks open into 4. And then what's surrounding these 4 parts of the brains are 4 rivers of what you'll call interstitium fluid, or what you'll call spinal fluid, or cerebral spinal fluid, right? And then when you actually break this brain apart, as we finna do, let me get the lobes apart. All right. Look, 1, 2, left hemisphere, right hemisphere. You can get that apart as well. Dang, the pods just fell out. 3, 4. You see that? Then you got the pods. Now, between that actual thing, what you will see is it's made of ventricles, and inside these ventricles is rivers of fluids. You know, the Bible says they're Euphrates rivers. What else, Nabi? Other than the Euphrates River. The Nile Valley River. Give me another river. Uh-huh. What you got? Come on, Pastor. Preach on, man. Yeah, you try to say it. So, and then what it talks about the city, Havilah, where there's what? Gold. And guess what? You producing these type of metallic substance in your brain. So, you know, everything that religion talks about speaks about the God that's in you. And I'm just being real. Hanabi, you gonna learn something. You're gonna learn how to figure out how to put this brain back together. This your class for the day, man. You gotta look. Hey, Nabi, I be hearing them speak to the clients. I be hearing Nabi speak to the clients, y'all. It'd be so funny hearing him. He be sounding just like me. Stay encouraged now. Now you get on them 3 bitters and you take them 3 bitters the right way. You know, this was gonna happen first. See, first this gonna happen like that. You go Nabi. Go on, spit that knowledge, spit that truth. For those that like this transmission, make sure that y'all like these videos. Make sure that y'all share these videos. Make sure that y'all give them to loved ones, anybody that can learn from this valuable information. Okay. Let's see who else got a question. It says I have a gallbladder. Hold on, let me see that one. I have a gallbladder and don't want. Hold on, I have a bad gallbladder and don't want it taken out. Okay, and when I went on an all fruit, straight water comes out. So, for instance, right now, I wouldn't tell you to go on an all fruit diet right now anyway with a bad gallbladder, because if you have a bad gallbladder, I'm pretty sure that you probably got fatty liver too, if I'm not mistaken, Jesse Connor. So what I would do if I was you, I would go on a high ketogenic plant-based diet. You know, that's what I would do. And I would eat more foods that's high in unsaturated fats. You know, high in fats, high in just fats, high in omegas. That's what I would do. And I would bypass even, you know, as much as I can, disaccharides and polysaccharides, because what's going to continue to happen is if you eat a bunch of fruit, the fruit you have to remember, fructose don't go the glucose route. It don't go by way of the pancreas, and the pancreas doesn't actually need to use the beta cells to create insulin to allow those glucose factors into the cells for you can get ATP and energy. So what I would do is I would go the glucose route and I wouldn't go the fructose route, because when you go the fructose route, it don't use the pancreas. It goes through something called cellular infusion. It goes straight to the liver. And then, you know, I'm pretty sure you got fatty liver disease and you probably insulin resistant at that. Look, I have not seen one person that have a bad gallbladder that's full of gallstones and liver that's full of gallstones that doesn't suffer from insulin resistance. So what I do is I go high ketogenic, high ketogenic. These are avocados. I definitely do avocados, coconut flakes, coconut flesh, should I say, definitely Brussels sprouts, all day long broccoli. I don't care what y'all think about the broccoli. I love broccoli. It's amazing. I did an amazing presentation on it. Broccoli is how I look right now. Broccoli saved my life. I love broccoli. Anything that's a part of the brassica family, anything that's a part of the cruciferous family, and it's high in sulfates. It's high in sulfur. I definitely do that. I will go the sea vegetable way. You know, I definitely do nori. I definitely do kelp. I do all of those things. Granny Smith apples. I wouldn't do no other apples than Granny Smith. They have a low glycemic index. So the whole thing is to stay on a low sugar diet, even a low natural sugar diet. I know that's kind of hard, but if you just search around, or I can send you my plant-based ketogenic diet, and that's how you do it. And then you need to do a liver and a gallbladder flush. You need to do a liver and gallbladder flush, and you would do that. And matter of fact, I will read the liver and gallbladder flush to you. Matter of fact, let me go get it real fast. That'd be cool, right? I read my liver and gallbladder flush. Hold on, let me read my liver and gallbladder flush to you. And I give this to about 90% of the clients that come here. 90% of the clients that come here, I give them the liver and gallbladder flush. So y'all write this down, and if y'all can, type these instructions in the comments for everybody to screenshot them. That way y'all can do them. Me and the crew that came here, the team that came here for the actual lecture, are actually on this liver and gallbladder flush right now. And I made it good for it really wouldn't get all of them too much toxins out. That way you won't be down too long, but it'll clean it out slowly but surely. I tell you that. I will tell you that. So the liver and gallbladder cleanse. So these are the ingredients to the liver and gallbladder cleanse. Jesse, the first one is going to be a cup of fresh orange and lemon juice. So you're going to get a cup, and inside that cup, you're going to do half orange juice and half lemon juice. And then you're going to do a cup of pure water. Pure water. I say distilled water. And then you're going to do 1 clove of garlic. If you can find black garlic, do black garlic. I don't recommend you eat garlic every single day because garlic can cause leaky gut because it is that powerful. It can rip through the bowels. But since this is drastic times, sometimes drastic times do for drastic measures. You're going to do 1 clove of garlic. You're going to do a tablespoon of olive oil. And then you're going to do a half a teaspoon of chopped raw, fresh, organic ginger. This is going to be for the nauseation because once those toxins get released from that bowel, you're going to be nauseated because there's going to be so much poisons coming from your gallstone. You have to remember, and I want to go on record to say this. The gallbladder don't create gallstones. Gallstones are created from the liver. And these are facts. These are facts. Y'all can call them hepatic toe solutions or whatever they want to call them in the scientific, community, but they come from the liver, y'all. They really do. All right. Now, these are the instructions. You're going to blend all these ingredients together with a good blender. Do a bullet or do a ninja. Drink upon rising on the empty stomach. It says this is a dose on 1 day. Day 2, you're going to double up on the oil. Day 3, you're going to triple up on the oil. Day 4, day 4, and day 5, you're going to go back to day 1. And then you're going to do this 5 days on, 5 days off for 3 weeks straight. And you're going to see the biggest gallstones, the biggest liver stones ever. And what you're going to be looking for is the ones that float. You're going to see green ones. The green ones come from the gallstones. You're going to see dark brown ones and tan ones. Them come from the liver. Now, what I suggest you to do is get Granny Smith apples, juice them, and you're going to drink them 4 days before you do the cleanse. That way, the malic acid that comes from the malic acid that's produced by the apple juice, the Granny Smith apples, it can help soften up those stones. That way, them stones are not coming out hard and ripping up your intestines coming out. That's what I do, y'all. All right, so that'll help you out. And usually you can save your gallbladder by that. But make sure you check your AST and your ALTs and, check your bilirubin and do tests like that to just check the status of your liver as well. All right. Man, I appreciate y'all as well. I hope y'all truly, truly wrote that down. Now, be you back there trying to put that brain back together. Now, be back there dropping stuff, y'all. Another person said, what do they do for asthma? This is for YouTube. This is G-Soul 9 Lotus. I like your name, brother. What do you recommend for asthma? When you look at asthma is nothing but inflammation in the bronchial tubes and the alveoli of the lungs. Usually that's a mucosa membrane irritants. So you have to cleanse the mucosa membrane. First thing I would do is get off all meat and dairy products. All meat and dairy products. Then you have to ask yourself what is in control of utilizing your mucosa membrane and what's in control of, and that's acetylcholine, that actually produced by the adrenal glands, and what's in control of the autonomic nervous system, which we already said, the reptilian brain. The autonomic nervous system is over your breathing capacity. So your autonomic nervous system, your adrenals produces steroids. So they probably got you on a steroid right now, because your adrenal glands are not producing their own steroids that's actually keeping the inflammation away from your lungs, from the harsh things that you're breathing in and from the foods that you're eating. So off back, anybody that have asthma, if I had asthma, what Yahki would do is I would stop eating all dairy products and I would stop eating all meats, because it's known facts that dairy products and meat compromises the lungs. There's a compensation. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So that's what I would do first. The next thing I would do is I would go on a all fruit, berry, and melon diet for 21 days. 21 days. And I would drink a lot of citric drinks like lemon shots, ginger shots. You see that? I would do lemon shots and I would do ginger shots at least 3 to 4 times a day. Pomegranates. All of that is going to help get all of that mucus and stuff out the lungs. All right. So you're on an all fruit diet. You're going to drink a bunch of water. Make sure that you use spring water, eternal water, earth water, some type of water. See that? So you're going to be getting your H3O2 in from your fruits. And then you're going to be getting your regular water in from your earth water, from your spring water. Now you're going to be taking your shots, your citric shots, your ginger shots, and your lemon shots and your lime shots. This is going to help break up all that coagulation of mucus that's in the bronchial tubes. Then what I would do as far as herbs, I would do coat's foot. All right, you're going to do, and this is all even amounts. I'm telling, this will blast your lungs open, family. You're going to love this, y'all. So these are all whole amounts, all equal whole amounts. So you'll do an ounce of coat's foot, okay? Ounce of coat's foot leaf, organic. You're going to do an ounce of mullein leaf, ounce of mullein leaf, ounce of coat's foot. All right, you're going to do an ounce of fenugreek, ounce of fenugreek. Fenugreek is amazing for the lungs. All right. Then you're going to do an ounce of marshmallow root, because marshmallow roots is super, super alkaline. It's going to alkaline and it's going to soothe the lungs. It's going to soothe the inflammation. And then the fenugreek and the mullein and the coat's foot is going to dilate the actual vessels that's in the lungs to open them up for more blood, for you can get more oxygen, for it can combine with hemoglobin. You see that? So you're going to cleanse those lungs, and then you're going to use astragalus root. All right, astragalus root and licorice root. If your blood pressure is not high, astragalus root and licorice root, you're going to do those. These are separate one. Ounce, mix them all together, and you're going to make teas out of that. And that's to stimulate the adrenals to get them producing the right steroids. So if you do what I just said, mix those all together in a different parts. Remember, the first 4 together, then the astragalus and the licorice root. If you have high blood pressure, use wild yam root, mix those together in equal parts, and you're going to make a tea. You're going to drink an 8-ounce tea of the lung in the morning, and you're going to drink an 8-ounce tea. Matter of fact, do the lung at night, because you drink an 8-ounce tea of that licorice root and that astragalus root, it's going to have you up running around the house at night, because it's going to stimulate those adrenal glands. So do the stimulants in the morning, and then do the cleanse at night, because most of your autophagy and most of your cleansing is going on while you sleep anyway. That's how you cleanse your lungs. Now, you can get the respiratory kit off the site, or you can take power into your own hands. And if you have the time to do this and you ain't got a 9 to 5 or nothing like that, look, try it the way I told you at first. But if you don't have time to do this, buy the respiratory kit off my site, and I even go even deeper with the cleanse. All right, y'all, I think I gave y'all a lot today. I'm finna get up out of here. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I love y'all. If y'all like what we doing, share this. If you like what we talking about, press the like button. You know, the more likes, the more that this can get spreaded out. Notice I haven't been cursing, y'all. Notice I haven't been cussing. Now, I use damn and hell, but, you know, that's way better than what I used to say. So there's a lot of things evolving and changing with me. You see what I'm saying? So I love it. I love the person I'm becoming. I love the people y'all becoming, because y'all listening to this information and y'all applying it to oneself. And let's keep this thing going. Our official live date is what, Nabi? Thursday. So our official live day is Thursday. So be looking for me Thursday at 8 p.m. because I can't keep doing this every night. I got to sleep according to my circadian rhythm. So y'all can be looking for me every single Thursday, y'all. Not this Thursday, but starting next Thursday, because I just went live today. So every single Thursday, check me live. The At the Feet of My Elder podcast is coming. I got a bunch of different podcast rooms. Y'all have to see my new studio. It's amazing, y'all. I'm telling you. And we're going to have everybody on there. The actual Gorilla Mix will be on the site Friday. I'm going to open up the calendar again for y'all can get back to the clinic for your therapies and your services. What else is we missing? We planning a new conference here at the clinic. What are those days? November 15th, 16th, and 17th. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that up tonight. So tomorrow y'all be able to get the tickets for that. It's going to be amazing, y'all. Am I missing anything? Other than that, if it's not a verified blue check page, automatically assume it's not me. I will never, ever, ever, ever ask you for money over social media. I don't have a Telegram. I don't do astrology readings, and I don't respond back to DMs. I very rarely do that. And if I do, it's going to be with a page that have a blue check on it. I know I'm going live through this page right now, which is Dr. Yahki Health and Wellness Detoxification Facebook business page. I am trying my hardest to get this verified. Once it's verified, y'all can holler at me on there too. But as of right now, and even though I'm live, assume that this is not it either. This is the School and the Institute here. The book will be ready in December, and then the courses will roll after the book come out. So I'm pretty excited. We got a lot of stuff in store for y'all, all right? So peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earths. Peace.